So this is the sea. Sorry, this is the sea that I created for the first time at Hopkinson Mossman. I was making a whole lot of sewn works. They were actually nautically themed because I noticed the nautical alphabet was actually very similar to some of the paintings I'd been making over the years. So I thought I'll cut fabric on various biases to get the 3 tones or 4 or 5 colours they use, and reproduce these flags, you know, as paintings, you know, monotone paintings. They have I made the paintings, and then they have this great space, but the floor is, you know, it's painted. Anyway, it's a painting, you know. My paintings had no paint on them because it was just cut fabric sewn together. I thought, well, I could use the floor to use some paint and satisfy that, you know, scratch that itch, you know, as a painter. I sprayed this so that it's very thick, shiny, you know, perfect. But that's also just like laying down vinyl, which I could have done if I didn't have the overspray, you know. So the overspray sort of had to go on there to show it's a painting, you know. It's made with paint, it's handmade, like those floors that were laid in the Quattrocento before, you know. I like that old thing in 2014, you know, that timeless human act. I wonder if in the future, like, the world is going to be too populated, too small for this to exist, you know, hundreds of years down the track. We'll get in while we can with the old ways, you know. Yeah, it's all very obvious, the nautical paintings, you know, so it was like, well, let's put a wavy pattern on the floor and see what it, you know, does with the paintings. It turned out it very much created waves in your vision. It reacted with your eyes. Then it moved. I mean, I don't know if it will in the background here on camera. You have to be in here. You have to be in here to see it, to stand on it, to see it. But yeah, it was again reaction because this floor was already painted. So I thought you might as well paint it better than it was. You know? Another thing I want the audience to do with this work is walk on it. I want them to walk on this painting, and then, you know, they'll be rewarded. Standing on my art, their eyes will play tricks on them. You know? But yeah, I like that someone can walk on the painting. Yeah. My most recent dealer show at Peter McCleavey, you can walk on a painting there too. I'm interested in that now. I like people to touch it. There will be other artists' work on top of this work, next to the work. Some, you know, linking directly to it, I imagine, and others floating, you know, and adjacent to it, you know. I invite that. I think it'll be exciting. Particularly sculptural on top of it. I can't wait to see what they do. By the time this video's out, you'll know, I guess. But you know, yeah, that's great. I mean, it's supposed to exist. Any art is supposed to exist permanently somewhere, being viewed, you know. So if it's a floor, if it's in a museum, if it's in a foyer, if it's in a house, there's going to be something on top of it. It's a floor. It's got to be used as a floor. It's never going to be an empty room. There's very few empty rooms in the world. So a floor painting is always going to have something I can't control on top of it, you know. I think as a studio practice, you're always experimenting. You're always failing, sometimes succeeding. Personally, my mother always said, ever since you were born breech, you've been just difficult. And I think, I don't know, Martin Creed, I saw an interview with him, and he was asked, why do you make art? And he was like, well, I make art, I think, to make my life easier. Well, I think I make art to make my life more difficult.